somewhat the 5-year forecast and how it works, how we receive our revenue, and what type of expenditures that we do have. Our revenue is generated through general property tax, real estate tax. We do receive payment twice a year. We do get small settlements in between the two large payments that we do receive for different things. Also, tangible personal property taxes. Due to the state biennial budget bill, House Bill 153, it eliminated the TPP and it is not replaced. The only tangible collection that we do receive is public utilities. We also receive unrestricted state grants and aid, which is our foundation money is what they usually call it. We have 2 types of funding this school year. The first funding that we started with was the bridge formula, which is from July to September. And the second type is school finance payment report, which began and is effective October 1st. So our settlement sheets that we do receive with payment every month for our foundation money has changed in appearance, and the formulas have changed also. Within that amount, we do get some money for casino revenue. Also, as of you heard me state in the previous meeting, if you're still here from this first meeting, that we did receive our state emergency loan money. That will be deducted from our foundation money for payments next school year, beginning August 1st. In our expenditure line items, the largest, of course, is our salaries, which we are in the process of trying to decrease. Also, our benefits that are being looked at, how we do our health insurance in our school district. The previous commission board is looking at not having self-funded insurance. We are looking at whether that is going to be beneficial or not. And then the other portion about health insurance and such will have to be negotiated, of course, through negotiations with the negotiating team. Also, in our expenditure area, our purchase services. Which include utilities, consultants, rentals, copier service agreements, data processing services, repairs, trash, fleet and property insurance, legal costs, mileage, professional meeting expenses, and tuition that's paid to other districts. Those deductions are reflected in this line item, and they also include excess costs, special education costs, transportation costs, and costs that are paid to community schools, parochial schools, and non-public schools, and also for any of their mandated related services. That comes out of the purchase service line item. Basically, that's just mainly the main line items in the 5-year forecast. The 5-year forecast is on the website under the Treasurer's Department. It also has the assumptions with full explanation for each line item. There is also a link to the ODE website. You can pull up any type of financial report that you may be interested in looking at. It is available there on our website. I believe that you want a building expense and revenue report for Spring Mill. Yes, sir, you want. I wasn't quite sure how to organize this, but I have 3 years worth. Do you want 3 years worth stated, or do you want 2 years stated?
Okay, go ahead, let's do all 3.
Okay. The first year that Spring Mill was in session, revenue was $1,960. Expenses were $1,904,929. The year 12-13, revenue $10,726. Expenses $1,255,997. 10 so far this year. This year has not been completed yet. We have received $3,812 in revenue and projected expenses $589,447. Included in those expenses I was asked to talk about the utilities for the building from last year. We don't have our complete report for this year, of course. We have a company who does the monitoring of all of our utilities. Total cost for electricity for last year was $14,364. Gas, $41,989. Water, $7,092. Total utility cost for that building last year was $63,445. Also, I'm going through the questions here. Building permit receipts for last year. There were 16 permits that totaled $9,081 in revenue. This year there have been 8 permits totaling $3,217. I have a total for field trips from Malabar, but I was informed that you said that Spanish immersion sent some kids over there too?
Yeah, they have districts at schools.
Okay. All I have are the Malabar totals. Do you want that stated, or since I don't have all three?
I know that we also
buildings?
have the calendar that was a representation of children in the building, but it doesn't have any times. We have no idea how much time students are spending there. There's nothing that states that.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't then state this since I don't have the other buildings.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, I was unaware
that's
that there were
okay.
any other.
That's fine, because we do have, like I said, we have the calendar
Yes.
that anyone can see that we don't have a specific time for children being out there. So, thank you for that.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Could you specify on those costs that you had, those that are fixed costs and or sunk costs that have already been spent and paid for, as opposed to those that would be variable costs? And I know you mentioned the utility costs, and regardless of how many people are at Spring Mill as far as staff members goes, those utility costs will vary very slightly, won't they? We'll still have those costs.
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then, as you mentioned, in first year, second year, 1.6 million, 1.2, that was during the time they were putting the displays and those type of things in. So
Yes.
those costs are sunk, they're done. They won't be costs moving forward, correct or incorrect?
Well, I'm not sure because I don't know what the plan's going to be.
Well, if the plan is right now, we're not going to do any more
I do know that
displays,
there's going to be some maintenance things that will have to be addressed.
which will happen
Building.
regardless of how many staff members are there. Is that correct? Okay. So the cost that you just went through really has no bearing as far as whether the building is open or closed. Those expenses are.
No, these are just facts that I was asked to
Okay.
present for
All right.
expense and revenue. I've actually brought reports on every single building that we have in our district because I did not know what question was going to be posed to
And
me.
did any other building in the district generate revenue last year?
No.
Okay.
Well, there were donations. I mean, I state those donations every month in our monthly.
No other school, which we spend all those same expenses
No,
on,
we have
outside of the
some-
displays,
Well, we
none
have-
of them generated revenue, is that correct?
We do have some building rentals, I believe, at Malabar and
Okay.
CNI. I'm not sure what those totals are, but I can. I
Would you
can-
anticipate they're more than what Spring Mill generated?
Pardon me?
Would you anticipate those rentals are more than what Spring Mill generated?
I would have to say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
There's more rentals than building permits.
okay. And you get those numbers for us?
I I have just about every building, but I don't have the senior.
Well, you
I
can,
didn't
you don't
do
have to do it
senior
right
high.
now.
I didn't do the senior high.
Okay,
It's the only building I can do.
thank you.
Is that it?
Is that all you wanted me to say?
Yes, that's it. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you. Now we're going to ask our facilities manager for his report. Mr. Bob Booth, please.